Boys, in this video we're going to be ranking, or not ranking, we're going to be going through every single division and talking about the best non-title fights to make right now. I'm going to throw a few disclaimers out here because I know I'm going to get a bit of shit if I don't say it. Some of these fights are not realistic. This is just a nice bit of speculation, you know, we're going to have a bit of fun with this. There's going to be a few bits of contention in a few of them and I'll talk about it when I get to them, but some of them are unrealistic and I know obviously MMA fans love a good bit of realism, but I think this should just be fun to speculate some cool matchups that we could see between some high-level fighters. So quickly, if you're new around here, if you could take 5 seconds and just hit this, the like button. If you could subscribe as well, that would be awesome. But if you could just hit the like button, that means my video will reach more people, and that would just be sick. So anyway, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So this is one of the ones that are controversial straight away. Heavyweight, I've got Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. Now I know what you're going to say, well, Tom Aspinall's champion. Well, he's not, because everyone's fucking treating him like he's not a champion, especially Dana White and Jon Jones. You know, they're just treating him like he's a fucking #1 contender. So because of that, I'm going to treat him like a contender, even though I think he is the rightful champion. But anyway, let's not open that can of worms before I get cancelled in the comments. This fight would be sick. I think they should book this. Fuck, I actually don't know when I think they should book this, but they should do it very soon. You know, it's not for an actual belt technically, because Tom Aspinall is going to fucking have the most interim title defenses in history at this point. It's because Jon Jones is just fucking edging him at this point, so he's never going to get that fight, let's be honest. But this is two elite level strikers going at it, and that would be awesome to see. Both guys are pretty freak athletes, you know, they move so quick and so like the agility for a heavyweight is insane. So I think the striking bout between these two would be awesome, and I feel like there would be a guaranteed knockout. I don't think Ciryl Gane hits anywhere near as hard as Tom Aspinall and Sergey Pavlovich, but I feel like Tom Aspinall would knock Ciryl Gane out, but it would still be an elite matchup that I think would be super fun. And it would be kind of sick to see this on like a UK card with like Paddy Pimblett, and if Belal and Leon doesn't get announced for 300, I reckon throw them on it as well, but I think they will at some point get announced. But yeah, I think this would be a super sick matchup at heavyweight. Don't cancel me because it is for a title, but it is a non-title fight because he's technically not fighting for the undisputed. Alright, so the second matchup, and this is another kind of unrealistic one because Yuri is fighting on UFC 300, but you know, let's just say that he hypothetically loses. Just hear me out, I'm just trying to have a bit of fun with this video. This would be a hell-sick matchup, I reckon. I think Ankalaev would get the win. It's very circumstantial, but it'd still be awesome to see. Two high-level light heavyweights going at it. They're both really well-rounded fighters, but I think the stand-up in this fight would be absolutely insane. I think it would just be really interesting just to see, because I feel like Magomed's stand-up is really slept on, like, just because he's fucking Russian, that everyone thinks he's got that Dagestani, just where he boring cliff dweller style, that he just crotch sniffs, sorry, for 25 minutes or 15 minutes. But I think he's actually pretty entertaining fighter. I don't like love him per se, but I think he kind of gets overhated on a little bit. And I think between these two, they'd stand and bang, and it'll be an awesome matchup. I don't think this fight will ever happen, but it's still fun to speculate. So yeah, I think this would be a hell cool matchup, and that's all I've really got to say about it. Let's get into the next one. Middleweight. Alright, this I think could actually happen, but at the same time, I don't think it will happen at the same time because Dana White wants to rush both of these guys to the title. But in middleweight, I've got Izzy versus Chimaev. Neither of these dudes actually deserve the title, even though Dana White's already kind of tweaking and he looks like he's going to give it to Izzy. It would be a super cool fight that'd bring a lot of casuals in. Like the casuals love Israel Adesanya, and I feel like Chimaev is a big casual, like bringer in or whatever you want to say. Like he fucking rallies the casuals in, hey brother, I deserve the title, you know, like he gets them all in, which will be cool, you know, I guess. I feel like because they've got two completely different styles, I think it would be really interesting to see if Izzy can handle the wrestling of Chimaev, or can Chimaev stand up with Izzy. It would just be super interesting to see. It could go on the co-main event to McGregor vs Chandler, because that would be an easy 1.5 million pay-per-view, because it would just be a really sick card. I'd definitely want to see it. That would be fucking awesome. Two dudes who are really talented, but kind of overrated as well. Like, I think Chimaev especially is extremely overrated. So, and I think if they go at it in this fight, whoever wins, obviously, then they deserve the shot at the title. And it will really see how good, because we already kind of know how good Izzy is. You know, he's been reigning over and has had loads of fights over the years. But this fight would be super interesting to see how good Chimaev actually really is, because we don't really know yet. We haven't seen him properly tested at welterweight or middleweight. So this would be a super interesting fight to see how good Chimaev really is. And I think this would bring in so many eyes to the sport because the casuals love these two. Alright, in welterweight, so we assume that Ian Garry wins his next fight, and Colby Covington doesn't sit on the couch for the next 5 years and doesn't cherry pick a fight. But I think this would be such a sick matchup at welterweight. And like, just hear me out. These two are arguably, at the moment, the two most hated dudes in the UFC. So I feel like every single punch that they land on each other's chin, everyone's gonna fucking get a bit of a semi, because everyone was just, especially Ian Garry. I think everyone will back Colby in this one because everyone wants to see Ian Garry lose because he's such a fucking cock. It would bring so much attention because people will want to see one of them lose. I feel like people tuned in a lot for the Leon Edwards fight just to see Colby lose, but I feel like everyone wants to see Ian Garry lose at this point. The trash talk would be kind of jokes building up to it, because Ian Garry would make up some fucking really weird story that actually didn't happen about Colby, and then Colby will spit out his lines that he rehearsed in the mirror 2 hours before, something about his misses and, you know, all that stuff. That would be kind of sick to see. I'd love to see a verbal entourage on Ian Garry. Yeah, the fight would be, the build-up would be so interesting. They are both, like, they are very talented dudes, so like, it would be a really good fight. Stylistically wise, like, they are both really, really talented dudes, and they, you know, Colby's a good wrestler, you know, Ian Garry's a good striker, so again, it will be interesting to see how they'd fare up against each other, and it would be a good passing of the torch from one enemy of the fucking state to the other, you know, Colby passing down that villain fucking role down to Ian Garry, because I feel like he should embrace it, because it would just absolutely propel him into stardom. So this would be a really sick fight to see. I hope no one else agrees with me in the disagrees with me, in the comments, because I think this would actually be so interesting to see. Alright, another controversial one, because I know it's not actually taking place at lightweight, but they are both lightweights, so I don't feel like I need to talk about this so much. Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. I just want to see it happen at this point. Like, honestly, I'm so fucking tired of waiting for it. I understand that this will not take place at lightweight, so you don't have to tell me, but it still technically counts. I'm going to count it. It's the fight we all want to see, and I'm begging it happens this year, because I kind of feel bad for Michael Chandler at this point. It would be a huge fight. You know, it would just be a stand and bang between two dudes who've got pretty good power, and just, I don't think it would obviously go all 5 rounds. And McGregor fight's always huge, win or lose, and I want some content for my YouTube channel, so surely give me some content, McGregor, and come back. Featherweight, so we have the GOAT Aljamain Sterling and Brian Ortega. Now, this is another one because I know Ortega is matched with Yair Rodriguez and Aljo's with Calvin Kattar. I think Aljo gets the win against Calvin Kattar, but I think Ortega loses. But I feel like this would be, say if Aljamain Sterling wins, let's just say let's assume they both win, right? Aljamain Sterling versus Ortega, it would be an awesome grappling matchup, like really, really high level grappling between these two dudes. And then if Aljamain wins, then maybe he potentially gets a shot at the title. I'm not saying he deserves it, but I'm just saying, I don't know. I think Aljo can make a pretty good run at featherweight. If he loses against Calvin Kattar, he's done at featherweight. I don't really know what he's going to do with his career at that point. But stylistically, super sick matchup, and I'd love to see this one. And I hope that both dudes do get the win, so this could potentially be a title eliminator. But this all kind of depends on, you know, Volk, Topuria, you know, there's a lot of contributing factors going into this one, but I think this would also be a really cool matchup that's not for the title that I'd really enjoy. Bantamweight, I was kind of running out of ideas for this one, I can't lie. So I just kind of threw two dudes that, I don't know, I think it'll be a sick fight, but look, this fight's never going to happen, I get it, you know, just based on how the division is, but at the same time, I think, you know, Cejudo's going to lose to Merab, and then I think Corey's probably got a shot at the title next. But you never know Corey Sandhagen, because he just fucking takes every single fight that's given to him. So, look, let's just assume this is going to happen. It's not going to happen. Let's just assume. This would be a super interesting to see how the styles will play out. You know, I think Corey is such a well-rounded fighter that I actually reckon he just beats Cejudo, who is, I reckon, has been fraud checked a little bit. Especially Aljo definitely fraud checked Cejudo, and how good he actually really was. Would definitely grant the winner of this fight a title shot, 100% I reckon. Unless, maybe not Cejudo, but I reckon it would 100% cement Sandhagen for the title. But due to the circumstances, this fight's never going to happen, so let's get straight into the next one. At flyweight, this one I actually reckon could happen, and it probably should. Kai Kara-France against Manel, fucking, my brain's gone. Anyway, this fight was booked for UFC 293, but then it was cancelled because Kai pulled out. You know, there's beef there, so the build-up would be sick. Like, super excited build-up. Manel Kape's been fucking chatting shit, and then he misweighed himself, so he looks like a bit of a fucking idiot. But, you know, they both have a point to prove to each other, and I think it would just be an excellent grudge match. I feel like this would be... I wish this would go on something like UFC 300, because this would be a super sick fight. I'm not really too sure, like, about the ins and outs of it. I obviously know that your boy missed weight, but regardless, I think this would be a super sick matchup, and it would actually be a really cool fight to put on like a main card of a UFC event, like pay-per-view. So I'd love to see this fight, because I think the build-up and the fight would be actually pretty sick. So lads, I kind of flew through this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like, hit the red subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.